Okay, so man, I kind of realized that I may have been covering way too many different things going on with the Fantastic Four when it comes to our coverage over the cosmic side of Marvel Comics. But like I said in my last video, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, they used Fantastic Four for a lot of different things when it came to the cosmic side of Marvel Comics, especially when it came to like different ideas of what could be out there in the universe, like the microverse as well. And you see what I mean as we go through today's storyline, because we're also being introduced to another character who comes somewhat important to the cosmic side of Marvel Comics, but really more to the microverse. And so we picked up with the first appearance of the Psycho Man. Now, also, this book is really important for another character, and you see what I mean as we go through today's storyline, because as we get into the opening pages of this book, we really do pick up with Reed Richards carrying Susan Storm, or Susan Richards. And the reason why, because she had just fainted out of nowhere. And so for the entire team, they have no idea what's going on. Now, shortly after, she does wake back up and tell everybody that she is perfectly okay. But of course, you still have everyone concerned about her. Now, for Ben Grimm, he kind of realized that he's no longer needed around the place. And so you have Ben Grimm head over to his girlfriend's place, Alicia Masters. But this leads us over to our first appearance of, well, the Psycho Man. Now, for Psycho Man, this character right here is currently very upset. And the reason why, because, well, you see, he hired a guy to deliver a package to him. Because for Psycho Man, he's working on a bigger device, but apparently he's missing this fifth component he needs for his device. Well, the guy he hired had delivered the package over to a blind woman. We already know who that is, Alicia Masters. And so for Psycho Man, he's kind of like, how dare you deliver my package over to the wrong person. Now, we also see here for him that he does have this smaller device where he's then able to make people feel different types of emotions: fear, doubt, hate. And so he does use the fear part of his device on this delivery guy. And for the guy, he begins to freak out because he believes he sees all these different things coming after him. And matter of fact, he jumps out the window. Now, luckily, he does land on a ledge underneath the window, but still, it kind of shows the device is somewhat powerful. Now, we do get another example of this device, because right after that, we're then introduced to three characters who are technically lackeys for Psycho Man in this storyline, but originally at first they believed to be his equal, to be his partners. And so when you have him give them orders, they're kind of like, hey dude, listen, we're not your lackeys. We're here to work with you. And he says, no, you're not. He hits the doubt button on his device, and then all three guys begin to doubt themselves and begin to beg to allow Psycho Man to take them back in. But either way, we do see the Psycho Man work very quickly to get his missing component, because we do jump back over to Ben Grimm. And right now he's kind of like, hey, Alicia, what in the world is currently inside your living room? And so you do have the two characters try to figure out what's in there, but then out of nowhere, for Ben Grimm, he's then attacked by, well, some green creature. But here's the thing was actually hit by the fear part of Psycho Man's device. So for Ben Grimm, he's freaking out and fighting against some kind of creature, but that creature is not even there in the first place. And so by the time you have Ben Grimm get completely knocked out, for Psycho Man and his crew, they were able to get that missing component and get the heck out of there. Now, the storyline is also going to bring in some other characters that have been introduced in the world of Marvel Comics thanks to Fantastic Four, like Black Panther. Now, currently for Black Panther, he's on Panther Island. Now, here's the thing, because I tried my best to do research on Panther Island, and I got like different things about Panther Island, or really different islands have used the same name over the years in Marvel Comics. This one only appeared twice ever in Marvel Comics. But either way, for Black Panther, while on the island, he's trying to see who else had just arrived on the island. Are they peaceful or could they be enemies? But that is when he's then confronted by the Inhumans. And so you have Medusa and also Karnak fight against the Black Panther. But the battle is stopped by Black Bolt. Because for Black Bolt, he kind of realized that Black Panther is not the enemy here. As a matter of fact, you have Black Bolt fly over to this other island nearby. Now, once he does, he's then able to create a bridge to allow the rest of the heroes to just walk across the water over to that other island. Now, while you do have Medusa and Karnak talking to one another about the Fantastic Four, for Black Panther, he kind of realized, oh, we have somebody in common. That's great. So now I no longer look at you guys as enemies. But when they do arrive to this other island, you have Black Bolt tell Karnak, like, there's something hiding behind these boulders. Now for Karnak, he has the ability to find the weak spots in things. And so for Karnak, he does find the weak spot to shatter all the rocks in that area, which does reveal this secret base. But the problem is that right after our heroes found this secret base, there is some kind of shockwave that hits Karnak. Now, here is the reason why I said earlier the opening pages are really important, but for a different storyline, because earlier we saw Susan faint, right? And so for Ben Grimm, he wants to rush Reed to go find the Psycho Man. But for Reed, he said, listen, I can no longer just leave my wife behind because we just found out that she is pregnant. And so this begins the whole idea of Franklin Richards coming into the world of Marvel Comics. And so for Ben and the rest of the team, including Crystal, they're all excited about the idea of Susan being pregnant. But here's the thing, because to Ben Grimm, he's right. When it comes to Susan Storm, we can't bring a child into this world where we have crazy guys just running around wanting to take over the world. And so for Ben Grimm, he's still very determined to find Psycho Man and actually stop him. And Ben Grimm is right, because as we jump back over to the Psycho Man and his crew, you have Psycho Man warn the rest of his crew like, hey, listen, our base is found, so go out there and basically stop them. So it does kind of lead into a battle between the Inhumans, Black Panther, against the lackeys of the Psycho Man. Now, as the battle goes on, you do have our heroes really being able to take everyone down in a matter of a few pages. But while the battle was going on, for Psycho Man, that was enough time that he needed. Because now for the Psycho Man, he now has this device that could affect the entire world all at once. The same kind of power his smaller device did earlier in our coverage. And so right now for our heroes, they're trying their best to make their way over to him. But unfortunately, they run into some kind of wall. Now, for Black Bolt, he does sense some kind of grave danger behind that wall. But you didn't have Lockjaw appear. Now, when Lockjaw appears, he brings over Human Torch in the thing with him. So we're getting this massive team up. Black Panther, the Fantastic Four, the Inhumans, they're all coming together to hopefully get to Psycho Man quick enough to hopefully stop him. So while you have our heroes try their best to continue on, well, unfortunately, they are confronted by this huge creature. Now, the big hitters like Triton, Black Bolt, and also Ben Grimm, they tried their best to fight against this creature, while you have Medusa and Karnak continue on. But the problem is that the wall they couldn't get past earlier, well, Karnak tries to attack it, but now it seems like the wall is alive. Now, we already know that this is the Psycho Man using the fear part of his device to play with the minds of our heroes. Now, for Black Panther, the dude kind of snuck away. Because while you have the Psycho Man right now kind of like, okay, cool, everything is working out perfectly for me, this is great. Well, you have the Black Panther trying to sneak in through one of the vents. But the problem is that Psycho Man caught the Black Panther. And so just like that, he's also hit with the fear part of Psycho Man's device. And so for Black Panther, he believes that now he's fighting against some kind of creature who's just as fast as him. Now, luckily for our heroes, Gorgon arrived, because for Gorgon, he went over to Panther Island to find the rest of the Inhumans, but realized they ain't there. And so he heads over to the island where the battle is taking place. Now for Gorgon, when he does stomp on the ground to release a powerful shockwave, it does get rid of all the feared creatures that our heroes are currently fighting against. And so it allows our heroes the ability to regroup. Now, once they do, you have Ben Grimm being able to rip apart the wall they kept getting stopped at, where of course they're then confronted by good old Psycho Man. Oh, by the way, you also have our heroes being able to get rid of Psycho Man's device very easily. Now, this kind of leads into his origin story in the last few pages of this book. See, we learn here that for the Psycho Man, he is from the microverse. Now, the microverse is, of course, a bunch of small galaxies that are so small that not even a microscope can be able to detect it. Now, for the Psycho Man, the reason why he's here right now is because, while his homeworld, there's too many people on his planet. They're running out of room. They need a bigger planet. And for them, they realize that Earth is weak enough to be able to be taken over. And so that is why he is currently here, to take over the Earth. Now, we also learn here that the suit he's in right now is being used by psychic abilities. But either way, once you do have the Black Panther get a surprise attack done on him, well, Psycho Man disappears, only leaving behind his costume, and that is it. And having our heroes wondering, like, where is he? Where did he go? And the possibility of him coming back again down the road. But this is where we're going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.